You wake up in the middle of the night. Your eyes adjust to the darkness, but when you try to sit up, you realize you can't move a single muscle. And then you see it, a dark, faceless figure standing perfectly still in the corner of your room, watching you. Throughout history, people completely isolated from one another have described seeing this exact same entity. To the Japanese, it's the Kanishi body. In Newfoundland, it's the old hag. In the Middle East, a jinn. Today, many Americans interpret it as an alien abduction. The terror is absolute, and it feels entirely real. You are fully conscious, completely aware of your surroundings, yet you're locked inside an unresponsive body. But this shared nightmare is a predictable error in the brain's operating system. Sleep paralysis is a literal state transition error. It happens precisely at the boundary where the mind attempts to switch from rapid eye movement, or REM sleep, into full wakefulness. In this vintage photo, we see how early sleep scientists attempted to capture data. For decades, researchers viewed sleeping and waking as clean, distinct states, making these strange boundary events incredibly difficult to map. Today, neuroscientists view the brain more like a biological computer, and just like a machine, its boot-up sequence can occasionally hang, forcing two incompatible software states to overlap. To understand the monster in the corner of the room, we have to look under the hood and check the human hardware. When you enter REM sleep, your brain runs a safety protocol called REM atonia. It is designed to keep your body perfectly still so you don't physically act out your vivid dreams. This diagram shows exactly how that protocol works. The brainstem floods the spinal cord with inhibitory neurotransmitters, specifically GABA and glycine, which cut off signals to your voluntary muscles. The glitch occurs here. Your consciousness boots up, but the chemical lockdown along your spine fails to lift. The conscious mind sends frantic commands to move your arms and legs, but the physical drivers refuse to load. You are totally immobile. Lying helpless in the dark creates a state of physical vulnerability that primes the brain for panic. Realizing you are paralyzed triggers an immediate response from the amygdala, the brain's primal threat detection center. As this schematic illustrates, there is a critical component missing in this transition state. Your frontal cortex, the region responsible for logic and rationalization, is still completely suppressed. You are experiencing high-level fear with no rational oversight to calm you down. The brain is registering extreme terror but cannot logically explain why. To resolve the contradiction, it is forced to invent a physical threat to justify the panic. This brings us to the temporoparietal junction, or TPJ, a region of the brain responsible for mapping your body's position in physical space. During the paralysis glitch, the TPJ misfires. Your spatial awareness and your basic sense of self are instantly scrambled. To make sense of the chaos, the right hemisphere employs a shortcut called surface interpolation. It quickly renders a low-detail humanoid shape out of the dark room to explain the amygdala sphere. The shadowy intruder standing by your bed is actually a corrupted, out-of-body projection of your own paralyzed body map. The shadow man is the brain's attempt to put a face on its own unexplainable dread. Identifying these biological mechanics can help remove the mystery and fear associated with the experience. In this clinical photo, we see how researchers began correlating terrifying subjective reports with objective physiological data. Today, researchers are moving this science out of the lab and into the bedroom through emerging AI-powered wearable biosensors. These portable devices track heart rate variability and respiratory irregularities to identify the physiological precursors of a REM-wake dysynchronization. In the near future, automated haptic or auditory feedback from these wearables could potentially interrupt the buffering state before the shadow man even renders. By mapping these errors in our own hardware, we are beginning to treat this universal nightmare as a predictable physiological event that can be monitored and measured.